It is the awareness itself that will drive the change, and one of the ways it will drive the change is through global governance and global agreements.
The international order we seek is one that can resolve the challenges of our times.
All these new challenges are bringing together about the biggest restructuring we have ever seen, not just of the global economy, but of the global order as a whole.
To get ahead, we've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
We can't afford steak. We just spent all the money on JJ's cable bill. But at least we're back up and running, and we don't have to worry about that for a few more weeks. Definitely want to say thank you once again, folks, for doing that. That was huge.
Oh, man. No, we're not.
Huge.
I'm going to find a gig by then.
Well, it buys us some time. Yeah, it's on. All right, it's Thursday. It's a roundtable edition of the broadcast. It is Thursday. It's September 27th.
Got Curt with us, Curt Williams, Room 101 Radio.
What's up, Curt? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning, Chowdah.
Are you awake?
I'm barely awake.
Barely awake. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm like, what is he doing up so early? You're typically, you're like me. If you can squeeze an extra hour or two out of it, you're going to do it.
Oh, I gave him some extra sherm this morning.
Oh, that'll get you motivated and out of bed.
Got that right.
It's like dangling a sherm stick in front of a horse or a carrot. All right, we got Jules coming on with us shortly.
Yeah, I'm just looking for her now. Let's see.
Yeah, she's wrapping up, I think, her responsibilities over there in her network on UCY, and I think we'll probably bring her up.
UCY.TV also streaming the Rob and Freeland Show live.
Yes, thank you very much to Jules and her husband for that. And then what we'll do is we'll bring Jules up at the top of the hour, the first break there, 5 minutes past. We'll connect her into the conversation, and then off we go. There's no stopping us. New World Order. I hope you're wearing a cup today. We're coming for your groin. All right, JJ, let's get some of this news out here. And man, I had all my stuff set up, and of course, right when I'm finished setting up everything, poof, power goes out again. Had to start over. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It would have been real easy just to be all defeatist in my mentality and say, I'm not doing it today. My power's all messed up. I've lost internet twice. But here I am, man. I'm ready to do some radio kung fu. You ready?
Some radio karate.
Karate. All right, what do you got for us first? First.
Let's see. FBI investigation, neocon lobbyist for false flag terrorism threats. Actually, that might even be the one we were talking about yesterday. We'll have to check. Here comes the initial jobless claims, Rob. I know you're going to love this one.
God, it's always this. All right, whatever, fine. Here's my prediction, right? It's going to be a little bit worse than what they originally stated today.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens. That's my prediction. We'll see. BPA plastics, from plastics. This is an article that came out, about a week ago. We talked about it and mentioned it, and then it came back again yesterday. And also this follow-up article, which is chemical and non-stick cookware is linked to child's weight, or I should say weight problem, obesity.
Teflon?
Yes. Now we have two articles within a week saying that it's the cookware stuff, the PFCs and the the pans
or the BPAs, yeah,
and then the BPAs and the plastic. Both claims state that this is leading towards a rise in obesity in our country.
But that does, you can't really use that and then discount all the horrible food we're getting from corporations, though.
Absolutely not. We'll get
not you. I know you would, but I'll bet you that's what they're going to extrapolate.
No, actually, it's not. No, it's not quite like that. I mean, one of the stories does, tries to discount it a bit, and the other one doesn't. So, we will not discount the fact that our food is absolutely horrible here, and of course, JJ, the lack of activity is a big factor as well. Yeah. People are a lot more sedative in their attempts these days. Texas tip. We didn't cover this one yesterday. A snitch program invades a small town in America. This is actually a trend going on. So small town, big town, it doesn't really matter. But we'll let you know about that. It's in South Carolina. What else do you got there, JJ?
Let's see. Curt, what do you got? Or did you just bring your list of 25 things?
Oh, you...
Curt woke up 5 minutes ago and went, what? Oh, you want me on the show? I'll go to economiccollapse.com and get something.
20 reasons why I shouldn't be doing a radio show.
No, it's not. I'm not trying to pull money. Yeah, I've got a peak oil. Oh, wait.
Hey, why are the Freemasons collecting our children's DNA?
Oh, really? Really dope.
That's a really dope article. All right, folks, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Roundtable up next. Is this Susu Studio?
Oh, no, you're right.
Sorry, I'm sure I was heard there. I was being a little silly there. It's not Susu Studio. It's some Genesis song. I don't even know what it is. Akabab or something. What do they call that?
Yeah.
I forget how you pronounce it. Abacab.
Right.
I always...
Akabab
or shish kebab or
Like a memmy.
take a cab.
Meme.
Hey, you know that show? There's a show on HBO right now. It's spelled Treme. How would you pronounce that?
What is it? Say it again.
It's Treme. It's an HBO like series on right now.
Treem?
You guys suck.
Tremmy?
What?
See? I thought it was Treme. I thought it was Treme or Treme or...
Wait, that's because you're an ex-French porn star. That's why. Everything's got to have that.
It's paying off now. They give pensions in France, you idiots. I get a check.
It says fragile.
He can't say it. Say it. Chowder. He can't say chowder.
Chowder.
All right, let's give the phone numbers out here. 86. Oh, wait a minute. We're not giving the phone numbers out. You can't have it. Ours.
What do you mean you can't have it?
Well, because if we bring the phone queue into this lovely roundtable,
things. Then we're going to all have to change our Facebook status to complicated. What?
Yeah, right. Broke up relationship, complicated. It's complicated. No, it's not really that complicated. When we add the phone queue, the quality of the call goes out the window. And if we're going to add, this is all for you, Jules, by the way. If we add you to the call, right, we're finding out that we can only add you via the phone. And that sucks. We want you here with us.
No, we don't want that.
No, live and in good quality. So, yeah, it's just, one show a week. We're going to hold off on phone calls. So we'll be back taking phone calls. I mean, unless it's something, we can maybe try in the second hour if we decide to open up the phone lines. But we'll try the first hour without calls. And we'll just do a roundtable approach here and hammer out some of this news. And, we got Russ from Minnesota already in the queue. Russ, we just said no calls, not calls now. You silly. But you know what? It is good that Russ called because he took like a month off and I was worried that he was either very, very angry at us or arrested. Maybe doing like 1 to 2.
Yeah, he probably got arrested outside of McDonald's somewhere.
Creeping around outside of Donald's with a hot coffee or a hot pocket. All right, let's move forward here and get into some of this news. We do have an email address, though. I'd be remiss if I didn't let JJ give out the email address.
Oh, yeah, that would be robinfreeland@gmail.com. That's robinfreeland@gmail.com.
He did it a little differently on his show yesterday, by the way.
I did it heavy metal style.
Just a little different, but you changed it up a bit, which I appreciate. Don't do it the same way you do it on our show. That's trademark, brother. All right, let's
trademark.
Yeah, it is. I just trademark it right now. You can go to trademark.com and do it. It's real
cheap.
Indeed. All right, so let's give out the chat room, robinfreeland.com. Go to the top of the page there. You'll see the chat room link, and you can join us in there. A lot of good folks yesterday. Let's see if we can match that effort. I think we had 26 people yesterday, 28 the day before.
Let's see what we can do on TalkStream today.
Now, TalkStream, JJ, could you put a link up for that?
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar in the ways of TalkStream, and I know that you're wise in the ways of TalkStream. All right, so we'll put a link up to TalkStream. You guys can get in there, support the show, get a trending topic, get something cool. Let me see here. What can we do for a cool trending topic today? Ahmadinejad's New World Order. Put that in there.
Oh, that won't fit. It can only have like 11 letters or something.
11 letters, and that guy's name is like 13 letters.
Yeah,
no doubt.
How about Iran president?
I ran, you ran, we all run.
No war. I don't know.
There you go. Smart dude.
How about free scones?
Free scones?
Put in free scones.
Free scones?
Yeah, people love free scones.
Yeah.
People love free scones. All right, let's get into some of this news and information. Got the TalkStream live link up. We've got the phone number hidden in a deep vault under the floor in my office here. What else do we have here?
Above Danny Bonaducci, all right?
Oh, God, man. Anything to get us above Danny Bonaducci.
Is he doing a show?
Apparently.
No, I don't care. Apparently he is.
Wow, I think I want
Live
to
from the
listen.
Partridge Bus. But
Is it up against you guys? Are you up against Danny Bonaducci?
Oh, it's right now, yeah.
The name of his show is called Butt Chugging in America.
You didn't do that story yesterday.
I didn't. Should I just talk about
Yeah,
it right now?
Yeah,
I just
started
mentioned
off.
it. I let the butt
I don't
chugging
even
out
know
of the
what you're
bag.
talking about, but now I want to.
Well, there's a new thing going across sweeping the nations in colleges. It's called butt chugging. Now,
Good Lord.
I'm sure we can figure out exactly what that is by the title of the article, which is Butt Chugging Leads to Severe Alcohol Poisoning of a University of Tennessee Student.
all right, hold on, hold
the
on.
mental image.
Are you pulling your pants down right now, Kurt?
No.
No.
All right.
If you can get alcohol poisoning, and it's called butt chugging.
Yeah,
No,
yes.
you can get alcohol
connect
poisoning
dots here.
from butt chugging.
From the butt chugging, yeah. Yeah, and there's a new thing. Planking is no longer socially acceptable. It's now called owling, and now people sit
Wait,
around
who's planking?
planking. When you laid across something like a plank, and it doesn't matter what it was. It could have been a chair. It could be anything that you could lay on, and people would lay straight and flat as a board, and it was called planking. And they would take pictures of themselves doing it in weird places around the country or
Yes.
around their
I've
town,
heard
and
about
they would-
this. My nephew actually did this.
yeah, everyone does it except for
Yeah.
you lamos.
I don't.
Those people go on my list.
Yeah, they're on the
God
list.
God bless America.
God
You're
bless
on the
America
list.
list. They're on it.
God
You're on the
bless.
God bless America list.
Have you seen that movie? You'll understand the list.
Right next to people who say irregardless.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Right. God Bless America. I have that movie. I downloaded it, never watched it. Was it good? Because I deleted it.
Man, great movie.
Is that the crazy one with the murdering and the guy that goes psycho?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
yeah.
awesome, dude. You gotta
All right.
watch it.
I haven't
All
seen
right, I have it. I have to watch it. All right, let's get back into the butt chugging. We're trying to
Yes,
teach
butt
people.
chugging.
God, you guys. 20-year-old Alexander Broughton of Pi Kappa retard alpha was brought to the emergency room and showed that he had a blood alcohol level well over 0.4. How?
Wow.
0.4? Oh my God! If you get to
Lucky he didn't
0.2,
die.
if you get to right, exactly. People have died from 0.2, 0.3 blood alcohol level. They believe he ingested the alcohol by a new thing called butt chugging. Broughton's appeared to be extremely intoxicated and showed signs of physical and possible sexual assault.
Wow.
I'm sorry. They got this kid all butt chugged up, and then who knows what happened? Who knows? But I guarantee this kid's not.
Would they use a super soaker?
I don't know.
The ones that are the big tubes, like they're like reverse gravity bongs, just a big cylinder, and you oh, good Lord!
How do you know about
I was
this?
like, you know what? I was like, man, am I getting old for me to be going butt
Right.
chugging?
Right.
I mean, if I were in college right now, would I?
Would you butt chug? Is the question. That's
No.
what everyone
No.
wants to know. Would you butt
No.
chug? I wouldn't. I don't think I would.
God.
According to the picture in the chat room, it's like taking a beer bong and sticking the hose up your tuchus.
It is.
Oh,
that.
dear
let
Lord.
let me explain what it is, okay? God,
What
you
do you
guys.
beer bong? Oh my! Explain
Right.
it.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Basically, what you do is you take a tube or a hose and you put it in your butthole and you flip upside down and they pour the alcohol into your butt. Why would they do that? I don't understand.
Because it gets into your system faster.
Well, I
It's
bet
not
it does. So does a coffee enema, but I prefer to drink it. Thank you.
Good
Tastes all
Lord!
right.
It
Well,
says-
then you know what? I'm saying take it one step farther. You know what I was talking about? Man,
Lord.
just cram a super soaker in there and just unload like
There you go.
90 psi.
You can call it super soaking, not butt chugging.
I drank a whole keg of beer in my butt. It says in the
Reminds me
house,
of that South Park
Imagine that. Do a whole liter of Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bum.
God.
It says in the
Jaeger
house,
bomb. Oh dear Lord, Jaeger
it
bomb.
says in the house
We
officers
just did it, dude. That's the new fad. They're gonna start doing Jaeger bums.
In the house, officers found several young males passed out in their bedrooms with bags from boxes of wine,
Oh my
some
God.
partially empty cans strewn across the hallways and rooms. All right, I don't know if I
Continue
can-
about the chicks then. Wait, because I couldn't even believe this. It continues.
It
There's a new thing that girls are doing, and not only girls, but guys too.
This is even worse, guys. Okay, it's when they take. There's not even a name for it. Okay, they just do it. There's no name for it because it's just so awesome, apparently. But they soak their tampons in They soak their tampons in vodka.
Lord.
in vodka, and then they insert those in.
And not just women, men too.
Yeah, because the alcohol is absorbed into the bloodstream without the stomach being able to process it. So I guess you get a lot drunker a lot quicker.
Don't these kids have exams or something?
And males are putting...
They need to study besides shoving bong tubes up their rectum.
I mean, no, males are putting these tampons in their buttholes too.
About the education system.
We wonder. People wonder. No, I don't wonder, man.
Not anymore.
No. I was like, wow, what do we do to this generation that they felt that, having a few beers and a doob down on the beach wasn't enough?
Good Lord, man. I guess
you're really sick.
Yeah, taking
That's
it always
taking way to kill yourself because you're not regulating it through. If you put that much in your stomach, your reflexes would puke it up. Your body would.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute, we can't have all this in here.
Right.
But
your
when
body
you
doesn't
do it
allow
like
you
that,
to get to
good Lord.
0.4, dude. That is absolutely off the charts as far as drunk. Like you said, your body wouldn't allow you to
Send
get to that
to the
point.
Celtic Rebel.
The Celtic Rebel. Oh God, you could do a 6-part series on butt chugging.
Just kidding.
All right, let's move forward here. And the best part is this is a Huffington Post article. This isn't on weirdanusstories.org or crazybuttgames.net. This is on HuffingtonPost.com.
Yeah, there's nothing more important going on than college.
Of course. No, don't talk about Iran. Talk about crazy college students in Tennessee.
All right.
Tampon stuffing with vodka. What the hell is that?
Yeah, it's just, I'm sorry.
I was with you with the butt chugging. Yeah, you had me at butt chugging. You lost me with the vodka tampon.
I thought the weirdest thing I ever saw was the mug shots. You're flipping through mug shots and you see one where it looks like a guy, just his face is all painted gold or silver.
Oh yeah, the huffers.
The guys that are huffing paint, you can
the paint huffers. Yeah, you're like, oh boy.
One eye looking off in the other direction. They're not there.
Well, you didn't get the other side of the photo. He was butt huffing.
Butt huffing.
I'm not even going to go. Yeah. We're just going to leave that
too
alone.
early.
They called that maneuver the reverse skunk.
Saturday night, midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning discussion.
Yeah, they call that maneuver the reverse skunk.
Oh.
Sorry, that's what they call it. I didn't make it up. All right, why are the Freemasons collecting our children's DNA?
They have been.
Why do they do that?
All from beer bong tubes?
No. Another Huffington Post article. This one comes out of the Canada wing of the Huffington Post. Says conspiracy theorists need theorize no more. In the pages of a fiction novel brought to life, this really strange, bizarre, twisting story coming through the government corridors is a situation where we have a case where they talk about this fabled secret society, which really isn't fabled or secret. Freemasons are right in your face. People have those stickers on their vehicles all over the place. I'm sure most people know where their Freemason lodges are in their towns. But in this story, no wonder why people think it's a conspiracy theory thing. You're making it sound like some kind of shadowy, dark story. But anyway, they call it an esoteric fraternity and an ancient brotherhood of initiates. I mean, what the hell are they getting this stuff from? Anyway, it says, where is the actual good stuff here besides their description of what the Freemasons are? Here it is. Their extensive group is now collecting our children's DNA with the support of the police and the government across the United States and Canada. You know them as this new project called the Mason chip or the Masoni chip. Yeah, the Masoni chip or Masonic chip. Perhaps you've been led to believe that it was a state or provincial endeavor intended to protect your child. They're typically at fairs, and in carnivals, fairs, and situations like that. But what they do basically is they forge a partnership with law enforcement, and they basically use the guise of, we're here to protect your child, we're here to help you out. But essentially, what they're doing is they're collecting DNA, and who knows what they're doing with it? They must obviously be creating a database.
I forgot the name of the program, but
it's called Masonic chip.
Yeah. And I heard this story about 3 years ago, actually.
Oh, really? That old?
Yeah.
Huh, this is a new story. It just came out today. Oh, yesterday, my fault.
Well, the story has, but they were, has it actually been implemented?
Well, they've been using it at fairs, carnivals.
I might have even been at, like, InfoWars that I read something about it a few years ago.
It says that...
The idea. Not that they were actively doing it, chipping kids, but that they were creating a program. Maybe they were already doing it.
It says, what exactly?
I thought it had something to do with the Shriners.
Yeah.
Well, Shriners are the Freemasons.
I know, but I just meant. Okay.
It says it begins on the surface as a child identification project, and then it says your parents, blah 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 blah. Sorry, guys, I've only had a chance to really read the beginning of this, and
right. Let's read it together, Rob.
Oh, together.
Okay, Rob.
Well, I'll butt chug first. Then we'll read it.
No, absolutely not.
All right, my fault. It says
I'll watch you butt chug.
You can't. It's impossible. I'll have to describe it to you.
Even worse.
I'm putting in the tube. It says advances in technology began to offer digital fingerprints, digital imaging, digital video, dental impressions, DNA mouth swabs, but the data processing is managed by their proprietary software that is designed to be compatible with local and national law enforcement. This campaign, it was created by police in the Masonic Brotherhood, regardless of its private funding. And it gives a link here to show exactly where the funding came from. All private donors, but all of them that come from law enforcement realm and industry. And they all happen to be Masons as well. How silly. It says a great distinction is made to ensure governments are nothing more than their supporters. Freemasons assert ownership of this project as an integral part of their mission statement. It says, quote, we the Freemasons are the sole sponsor of the Masonic Safety Identification Initiatives, MSI, Masonic Safety and Identification Initiative. Sorry, I was trying to see if there was some kind of creepy acronym that I could form out of there. It says it was developed in a various Masonic Grand Lodge jurisdiction, and as such, we schedule the events and coordinate the equipment, materials, and volunteers necessary to conduct the events. All groups and individuals are welcome to work alongside with us, but they are not referred as sponsors, but listed as involved as supporters. So, they go on and let people know who owns this. They don't really get into details exactly, but wow, that's pretty creepy, huh? They're creating this program. They're working with law enforcement officials. They're doing it on their own, volition. They're just showing up at these fairs and these campgrounds, wherever they decide to do it. And they're basically offering it as a way to protect your child from getting lost or, I don't know, something to pitch towards parents about safety or protection.
That's how they do the pets.
Yeah. And essentially what they're doing is collecting all this DNA on your child. And then who knows what happens to it. Then do they sell it? Is it kept in a database? Is it destroyed after a certain amount of time? They're not too forthright with their little secret program.
Well, Rob, I got a story here about them protecting our children even some more. They're trying to protect, at least 13 New York City public schools are making Plan B morning after pills available in school.
God, are you kidding me?
No, I am not. It's a campaign.
Are giving out morning after pills to students.
Yes.
Please tell me that it comes with
freaking 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
But please tell me it comes with some kind of parent permission slip first, right?
No, as a matter of fact, me and JJ covered this. We talked about this last night, and apparently they've been doing it for over a year. It's just now becoming put out there in the open, and 500 and some kids have actually.
What's Plan A?
I don't know.
Why don't they offer Plan A at the school?
Plan B is the name of the morning after pill. Plan B, one-step morning and emergency contraceptive. That's the name of it. It's not.
They changed it. They changed the name. The morning after pill had a bad
to Plan B.
Mm-hmm. Right, they changed it to Plan B.
Plan A. Last night, that's what I was saying. What's Plan A? Jaeger bombs, ecstasy, and freaking glow sticks.
Without getting pregnant. That's Plan A.
Butt chugging.
That's
Plan A. Plan B is the pill the next day in case you made a mistake.
Oh, man. Plan A is called have a happy lovemaking session without getting pregnant.
How about Plan A is, don't try to screw everything that moves.
How about Plan A? Be a parent.
That's for the. I thought this was for the kids.
Starts at home, absolutely.
Right.
Oh, you want to bring the parents into the equation? Okay. Parenting skills. God, the whole thing isn't this illegal? How do you sidestep the whole parental hierarchy hierarchy and say, oh, yeah, we're allowed to give your under 18-year-old kid a pill.
Well, they've been doing it with a program years ago that they called Teen Screens, where they pull kids off into
Teen Screens.
little questions like, does mommy and daddy fight? Are you happy at home? Are you comfortable speaking in front of people?
And they global warming deniers?
Hey, they get themselves a nice little Tic Tac, well, Prozac. And a lot of parents were up in arms because, not literally, but we're really ticked off at the fact that little Johnny is coming home and he's getting
little Jill
medication from the school.
Little Johnny wouldn't be taking these, right?
No, man. I don't know why it's targeting 13, 14-year-old kids. I mean, maybe like 18, 19-year-old. They should be handing it out to freaking club, not school. If you're going to hand it out where, go to freaking Fish concerts and hand it out.
Hey, yeah, that's a good place for him, man.
What the hell, man? At 3 o'clock in the morning, you see all them freaking glow bands out there.
Dude, 13-year-old, they're talking about 13-year-old kids in public school.
I know, dude.
Ridiculous. That was pretty professional. We were all talking, we were being loud and a little rambunctious, and I went live in 5, and everyone got real quiet. It was cool. I like having that ability. I'm going to use it again later on in the show. Just out of nowhere. 11-5. Chill you guys out. All right, we are having a crazy conversation. Who starts a morning radio show
talking about butt chugging?
Talking about butt chugging and crypto Jews taking pills and Masonic people with crazy DNA gathering. What a weird show. We were like only 35 minutes into the show. We've covered some pretty deep topics.
I'm glad I got up, that's for sure.
You're awake now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
You're wide awake.
No Red Bull needed.
No. All right, let's give out the chat room, robinfreeland.com. You click on the chat room, top of the page there. I've been pretty good with posting the news this week. So if you guys want some headlines in a nice, pleasant format, easily readable, easily shareable, too.
And orange.
Yes, a lot of orange there. You know what's going to rock when October hits? We're going to have the most Halloween-compliant website on the block.
Are you going to go red and green for the sake come the close to the holidays?
Of course. Kidding me? Absolutely. You got to be festive, or no one's going to read the news with that certain sort of pep in their step. That certain little. All right, I don't know what the hell I'm trying to describe here. Let's move forward here. We got a lot more news to get into. We were covering what article were we talking about? Oh yeah, the morning after Plan B pill in New York public schools. 13, is that it? It's just 13 specific schools they've launched this program in?
Yeah, New York City.
Uh-huh. Wow, man. That's pretty amazing. I'm floored right now that they would have the gall.
Well, dude, kids in California can have abortions without parental consent now.
So gross. How dare the state or the school do something like that? And why aren't parents absolutely outraged? Where's the follow-up article saying how parents are protesting and storming outside?
Well, 9 times out of 10, Rob, if they're 13-year-old, 14-year-olds getting pregnant, they probably don't much have say-so. in their kids' whereabouts or whatever. That is the problem, right?
Take your kids.
That's what Plan A should be.
Send the kid
parent.
to foster care or whatever. They'll just come in and.
Yeah, Plan C.
I hate the state, dude. I hate everything about social services, Department of. Division for Youth, all of them, CPS.
They should call it Division of Families.
But aren't you legally responsible for your kid until they're 18?
Yes.
I think it's 21 now.
Really? 21?
No,
on your life,
go into the service.
Your health insurance. You have
health insurance. Yeah, if your kid's in college, they will cover them. Actually, it's even beyond 21.
Yeah, 26.
25 now.
Yeah, 25.
Something
26,
if your kid's in school. But as far as legal responsibility, at 18, you could set your kids free, and if your kids get into trouble, you are not legally responsible for them anymore. But
that's true. That's true. Yep, 18 is.
How can they make it 14 that you're not legally responsible for your kid going to get pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, that should be the parents' responsibility. And if they're giving them any drugs, that needs to come through the parents. I would flip out if I found out that they were giving RU-386 to my kid in school.
And the truth is it's consensus. I mean, where is the next article that says schools around the country are being stormed by angry parents saying, wait a minute.
Right.
We could. There was, I mean, if they.
There was a conference last night I was watching on CNN, and it had that stupid Piers Moron guy, but he had a panel of people on there. He had he had Deepak Chopra and some woman from India, and he had Will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas, and just some really, really crazy panelists up there to talk about just things going on in this country. And Will.i.am was just completely taken aback by the conversation because the whole time he kept saying, I just don't get this. I just don't understand this. And finally Piers Morgan goes, what don't you understand again here, Will? And he goes, well, the fact that we spend so much more money on defense and war than we do on education. That doesn't make any sense. And what doesn't make any sense either is, how come no one's upset about this? Why come no one's really ticked off or noticing that we spend so much more money on war and defense than we do on education? What is going on? Like, he was honestly taken aback. He didn't get it. And that's the point. Why aren't people outraged that a public school system is sidestepping the whole parental hierarchy and giving children medicine that will basically
pumping out near idiots?
We don't even know if that medicine's safe or not. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Well, and two, it states that they just the kids can get them whenever they want them. So like they chiclets. Don't, they've cut the middleman out, like we've been saying, being the parent. Right. And they say, 13, 14, 15-year-old girl goes out, has a couple drinks and thinks she's knocked up. She can go to the school and ask for this. And more or less keep it a secret. So,
And then what do they do? Is there a test? Like, wait a minute, you are pregnant. Wait a minute, you made a mistake. You're not pregnant. So who's giving this medicine out? And they're like, oh my God, man.
And you can't even tell that quick, guys.
Right. Yeah, right.
It
you
takes
can't.
At least a month for the hormones to show up. Sometimes two. So
right.
They're going to be giving it to these kids just if they think
about it, Jules,
pregnant.
Rob. Think about it. If your kid came into school, say, okay, your kid goes into that school, 13, that's seventh graders. You say you've got an 8-year-old girl. She goes into school. She drops her purse in the cafeteria lunch line, and out pops a baggie with various, like some little pink Benadryl pills and some Sudafed. The sheriffs would be there. Yeah. The state troopers would be there. The superintendent would be there. That would be in the paper. It would be on TV. But she goes to school, and in California can get an abortion without your permission. In New York, she can go and get the morning after pill, which is the same thing as getting a freaking abortion. I mean,
it is.
Where does it end?
It's a chemical abortion.
Right.
Gross.
It's just it makes it easier to be irresponsible. People that commented on these freaking idiots. That's the part that gets me is when I read these articles, like I said before, I'll read the first couple of paragraphs and I'll just hit end page and go down and read the idiots, the morons out there that comment on these things.
Yeah, I put the article up in the chat room for you folks to take a look at. Here's Plan C, in case you were wondering. Parent protests and the state comes in and puts a boot right up their butt. That's Plan C. That's why you don't use it. That's why you don't see it being exercised.
If a 13-year-old girl comes into your office and says, hey, I need a morning after pill, you would sit her down, immediately call both parents, whoever you could get, and you wouldn't do anything until you got them.
Right.
Because that's not something, the
school has no right.
Hates you do something like that. But to find out that they've done it already, and parents are just finding out.
This article makes me want to butt chug. It's driving me crazy.
Makes me want to go butt chug someone else with that super soaker.
Whoa. Holy moly.
Oh, all right. Let me rephrase that.
It makes me want to butt chug somebody else.
Hold on just a second here.
Right. You have a clip? Huh? You have a relevant clip?
How disgusting.
It's a butt chug. I know. It's gross.
And people have the gall to look at me, a guy, a kid a dude who's been arrested a bunch of times, never for anything morally reprehensible, never for, you know what I mean? mostly vagrant.
Never for butt chugging.
Never for butt chugging or chugging anyone else's.
All right, well, here we go. In the 2011-2012 school year, 576 girls got the pills at the 13 New York City schools.
Wow.
Oh. This program has been in operation that long? I thought this is a
year was what I heard. It's been in operation just over a year. Yeah.
It says here in the article that New York's program was phased in at health clinics at about 40 schools on the 1 million student school system starting about 4 years ago. So there's clinics now, and I'm sure that's what they're using to pass out these pills at these little health clinics in the school.
And then it goes on to state that since January of 2011, it's expanded to 13 additional schools that don't have clinics.
Oh, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. It's in a lot more schools than that, dude. It's just 13 new additional schools.
Right.
Oh, it's actually in some 40 schools. As a matter of fact, it looks like all of the schools have this program, Curt.
Well, I did read somewhere. I don't think it was in this particular article. It was in another article about this. But they are looking to make this nationwide. So coming to a school near you.
Oh my God! Here it is down here. They did send home some information with the kids, and the kids have to get this permission slip signed by the parents. And what it is, it's not being signed. It's more of an opt-out. You only need to send back the permission slip if you want to opt out of the program at all, the health clinic program. So, I wonder how many kids never brought that thing home.
Right.
I wonder how many kids used it to roll up a doobie.
You know, yeah, I mean, shouldn't they have had to sign it?
Mail it?
Permission slip instead of sign it to say that we're not going to allow you to give my kids pills?
Right. You should have to answer either way, yes or no.
Turned in the permission slip. You never turned it in. Oh, the kid forgot. So boom, now you're okay.
All right. Got something that makes me want to shout. I got something that tells me what it's all about. I got soul, and I'm super bad.
Oh,
I got soul.
We're back apparently. That cough brought us back. I wonder why do they butt chug vodka in these really highly alcoholic beverages? Why don't they start with something like a beer or a wine cooler? Why do you have
it looked like that one? They were doing boxes of wine.
Yeah,
that's what it sounded like.
I mean, that's enough.
What are you soaking your tampon in vodka for? Why don't you soak it in something a little bit easier?
Gasoline. Try kerosene. Try kerosene.
Right.
Light the end of it. Light the string like a wick.
Good Lord.
I mean, because they're stupid. That's why I say that. You're an idiot.
I forgot. That's right. We're dealing with complete and total idiots. Who the hell put the hose up their butthole in order to get drunk? Wouldn't you just drink some liquor?
We're on plan B. That's like plan E.
That's like plan idiot. That's plan I.
Bell's butt chug, man, I guess.
Yeah. That's plan I.
Let's move away from all of this.
Plan U.
Plan idiot.
Please tell me some of you other guys have a better story here.
Well, listen, let's just go back to plan B for a second because it's a bigger issue than, I mean, why is there this issue where there's 7,000 teen pregnancies in the school system? It's the lack of supervision, man. We saw it at the end of Brentwood in 75 or 71. And then all of a sudden now mom and dads all had, dude,
why'd you say Bretton Woods?
When I was a young child, my mom was always home. My dad, he worked hard, but it was enough for for all of us. We got all our clothes every winter. We ate well.
JJ, how are you tying Bretton Woods into this? Just as a historical
complete fiat,
you're missing the big point here is right before Bretton Woods is when Gloria Steinem hit the scene, buddy, and started empowering women to go into the workforce.
I was actually going to hit that point, too.
That was the big crux,
With, the fact that all of a sudden now we have a whole generation, and now you see it, dude. Look at our kids. They're butt chugging. Yeah. I mean, that's 5 generations of no parents at home. Both parents working, coming home so tired that maybe they can get them to soccer practice or whatever. But
kids are so bored. Like, what's next? You're going to staple your penis to a tree? Like, what do you...
That's next.
You're going to grow it in a petri dish.
That's what I'm saying.
So how do we change that, dude? We have to bring back serious economic prosperity back to America where, you can have
I agree that it is all about supervision. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm in a situation where I can spend more time with my child. And I just imagine if I was one of the parents, both of my wife and I had full-time jobs where, it was this traditional 9-to-5 job that we both had. I mean, my son would be, I can't imagine. He's just that kind of a kid who's always trying to push the envelope.
Summer off, where when we were kids, summer off was like, Yahoo! But my daughter's in the summer, when I'm working and MJ's working, she has to stay in the house. She's not allowed to answer the door. She don't answer the phone unless it's me or MJ.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And there goes a whole summer.
I try to engage him as much as I can, and I'm lucky. I live in an apartment complex where there's a ton of kids here, so it's a lot easier for me to say, hey, you need to go out for an hour or two and find something to do. But, man, I can see how a lot of these kids are getting to these points where, they're having sex at age 13 and 14. They're doing stupid stuff like, butt chugging and just – I mean, there's a long
People look at everything as though it's ludicrous. Like, whoa, the idea of not continuing on with these failing programs and departments that, we've had for the last 30, 40 years. The idea is that it's much more ludicrous to try to just do something drastic and change and spin in a completely, or at least have public debate between the people, not between, quote, experts. Who cares what the experts are freaking arguing and debating about? We need to have the people, local people in each community I say that, and, I do know a lot of the people in my community.
What's their names?
All of them.
List of them.
Every last one.
He busts the phone book out. I'm in total agreement with you. I haven't disagreed with one thing you said.
More of the same, tinkering, as the water gets hotter and hotter to the point where you're told how many kids you can have, what geographic location you can live in, what your job is going to be.
This is the real reason why, JJ, I'm so upset with the whole Gloria Steinem thing. That's why it gets me so freaking pissed off, is because they're not, these people aren't stupid. They knew exactly what they were doing. And that's the thing, too. Like, I have a friend that lives in Tallahassee. She is a proud feminist.
No idea of that.
And I try to talk to her and just try to, stick a little bit of information in there, to try to create a little conversation as to the family aspect of feminism's great, but what about the family thing? And, women are being educated nowadays that, maybe children aren't for you. Not everyone needs to have children. Sometimes, having a children is not the right thing to do. And this woman on CNN came up there and gave this, 15-minute diatribe the other day about how, hey, ladies, she was this big, ugly, fat-looking, weird girl, really weird-looking chick with the most emo haircut I've ever seen. Like, maybe not having kids is not for you. I'm like, no one's going to even have sex with you anyway. That's the reason why you're probably saying this. Like, what the hell are you doing preaching to women that maybe children aren't for you? That's possibly, yeah, that's true. But, do you really need to remind women that? Do you have to tell them that? Of course. Think of the basics of, if you don't have a child, you're passing the responsibility to another woman to have extra children in order to replenish our population. Yeah. Very simple. We talk about the fertility rate all the time. That's pretty simple when it comes down to it. Every woman in this country has to have 2.1 children.
Organically or inorganically, populations have to stabilize with the resources, and they will.
But that's the thing. It's like, if we don't replenish. Okay, think about this. Okay, in our country, we have all these senior citizens that are retiring. We have a health care system that's getting bigger and bigger. People are getting sicker and fatter and accessing it more and more and more.
Less more and more intelligent. People are just becoming less intelligent.
But it doesn't take a smart person to understand that we need to have
necessarily dumber.
But we need more people to be in the system working in order to pay for this stuff. We have a coupled effect here where we have all these people accessing the system, all these entitlements, and, well, they're not really entitlements. If you pay for Social Security, you should get it back. So it's not an entitlement. But you see what I'm saying? All these people are going to be getting all these government sort of handouts, so to speak. Yet who's going to be putting the money in to pay for it? The system works where the people who are currently working pay for the people who are currently taking. It's not built on surplus or anything. So, you can see the problems that are coming in the not too distant future. So, why would you?
So what if we did this? What if all the people in the world got together, right? Just seized all the banks, seized all their governments, declared all debt nullified, had a complete jubilee, broke up all the banks.
You got to do something.
Huh?
Have a huge butt chugging party?
No, but hey, look. At some point, the species has to come into it, into the equation. Not the good of the many or all that. The entire species, man, and we're being controlled by a handful of corporations and just a small entity of elites.
Want to hear something disturbing, man? Deepak Chopra last night said that he's responsible for this Deepak Chopra Health and Well-Being Institute that he's created, and he's gone through every country and used all these different sort of measurements to decide how happy, what's the well-being of that nation. And he went through and gauged all these nations, and if you were a 70 or above, you were, the nation was happy for the most part and doing pretty well. If you were between 40 and 70, you were in decline and you were suffering. And if you were below 40, the number 40, you were, in abject poverty and suffering. So he went through and he quantified all the different nations with a number, and we were number 13. And then he went through and said, do you see all the nations here that have revolted against their governments? Do you see all the nations that have these Arab uprisings and all this turmoil and protest? And he showed Spain and Greece and all the Middle Eastern nations and all the countries that have people in the streets all pissed off. They were in a number that was around between 30 and 50, or 40 and 60, I should say, between 40 and 60, right? He showed America, we were in the low 70s. We were number 13 in the world as far as health and well-being goes. So we are and he said that it's inextricable. If you look at every single one of these nations, they're not happy people. They're not healthy. They're not happy. There's no well-being here. So that's when the people decide they're going to protest and they've had enough of this system. We're so far away from it here. We've somehow convinced ourselves in this nation, even though we lead the world in obesity, in incarceration, and in drug consumption.
Defense spending.
And the list goes on and on and on. We are not doing well in this country, yet we've convinced ourselves that we are.
America!
It's not that bad.
Hell yeah!
There is no protest coming here. There is no revolution. There is no, we're taking to the streets, we're taking it back, we're telling the system to shove it. Because most of the people in this country don't think that way, man. They think the solution lies. All right, hour number 2 for the Rob and Freeland Show. What a strange edition of the broadcast. I'm enjoying it. Always enjoy the Roundtable edition. But wow, what a the news, man. I'm telling you, this is some wacky stuff going on in the news. If you weren't,
not that I'm here.
No. You're like salt. You're like salt. You make everything a little better. Just put a little salt on you.
Painful.
You're like a flavor enhancer. No, I'm not talking about putting it on a cut. I'm talking about putting it on your food.
Oh, all right. Thanks.
Yeah, that kind of salt. You're a flavor enhancer.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for enhancing my flavor of my food. It says democracy kidnapped. Madrid police fire rubber bullets as thousands surround the Spanish Congress. We saw very, very similar things happening in Greece the last few days as well. Crazy protests and riots going on simultaneously right now in Greece and in Spain.
Oh, they're getting it done in Spain, surrounding the Congress building. If you see, you can look at pictures and you see that the police barricade started out rather wide, and as the day went, it
they started out like 4 or 5 barricades.
Right
there.
Yeah, they're getting it done in Spain. Whether or not what that's going to bring about, I don't know, but
I'm waiting to see.
I'm really waiting to see how this turns out.
They're probably not going to show us on the mainstream news.
No. We'll have to dig for the truth in this story.
Sorry, I was looking at the disturbing photos of a girl licking cream off of a priest's knee.
Yeah.
Where do you find this stuff?
It was on Facebook. I seen it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But, yeah. Disturbing.
Yeah, what's the deal with the priest?
I don't know. He don't even look like a real priest.
He doesn't. Why is he holding that stick?
When do priests wear biker shorts?
I thought the same thing. I was like, what?
Why does that girl have it looks like she has a pacifier in her mouth.
And the one looks like she has kitty whiskers drawn on her face, like she's a cat or something. Creepy.
Oh my God, that is creepy. One girl looks all soaking wet.
More reason to homeschool.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we'll have to get to this one later, man, because this one's creepy.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we run out of time and don't have time to cover it. And then Jules puts up the friggin' article about the new sperm extractor in China.
What is going on?
You did that one yesterday.
I think I covered that one yesterday, didn't I?
You watched the whole video after the show.
I did watch the video.
2 days ago, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the video.
So you can tell us about it.
Oh, I don't want to, though.
I did not watch it.
It's creepy as... Oh, wow, that's a creepy story, man. The sperm extractor. I mean, for anyone who missed the show the other day with this story here, it's I don't even know if I want to cover this. It's just, it's for sperm donations in clinics in China. They basically come up with this new machine to be a hands-free sperm extractor. I mean, use your imagination. You can pretty much figure out how would a machine extract sperm.
If you're so lazy. Never mind. I'm not even going to finish it. Don't even go to the donation center if you're too lazy to.
I'm thinking I've got a great idea.
On with your own hands.
I'm thinking I can have an all-in-one entertainment machine. The machine would go from the front and would connect, of course, the sperm extractor. You would have to plug in that way at first, but then there would be a hose that came around and went to your butt, and you could butt chug and sperm extract all in the same machine. We onto something here?
That's disturbing.
The butt-chugging sperm extractor 3000 sold exclusively by the Rob and Freeland Show?
Oh, this is definitely 3 a.m. Saturday night.
Yeah, no kidding.
Saturday morning.
Wow. Definitely wrapping it up here. We'll come back from the break.
I'm looking around. I can't believe the sun is up. I was thinking...
We've got a long segment.
Welcome back to the Rob and Freeland Show here at the Oracle Broadcast Network. We're definitely going to change the subject. I want to thank Jules and Curt. Curt's not here right this second. He had to run up for coffee. So is Rob. We'll thank them both for being on the show for the annual, or the
weekly.
Weekly. That's the word I was thinking of. The weekly roundtable show here at the Rob and Freeland Show. All right. Now, just on the face of it, you go against cronycapitalism.org, and I'm thinking, wow, okay, cool. I got this article from him, so I'm thinking, must be good because I'm against crony capitalism too, right? Mm-hmm. And the title is the U.S. government now borrowing entirely from itself? And I will answer that very briefly and succinctly. No. Okay, now we'll go into the article. Most people would puzzle over this question. I don't know why. Because most people who don't look into it would, yes. How can anyone borrow from himself or herself? Well, you can't, and they aren't either. The federal government, now, this is the very second paragraph. The federal government, however, operates by different rules. The U.S. government can borrow from itself because the Federal Reserve, and then the next thing they say is a branch of the federal government. And then, so now the whole rest of the article is bullcrap. You can't read another word of this article and believe anything in it or take any of it seriously. So I don't know, Hunter Lewis, dude, brother, over there against cronycapitalism.org, man. Read The Creature from Jekyll Island, dude. Read Eustace Mullins, really, rather. Go find Eustace Mullins, Hunter, and read up on the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not a branch of the U.S. government. It never was, and it never will be.
No.
And it does simply print new money, and then it buys the government bonds with this new money. Only the one thing that he doesn't say here is they add interest.
Now, what is he trying to describe? What quantitative easing is, or what the stimulus or bailout was?
Well, I'll drop you this article right now into the chat.
I mean, and there is a difference, too. People have to understand where the actual direct inflation comes from is from quantitative easing. That's them literally printing up money and putting it and injecting it into the economy.
No, well, first, I'm
that's
just
the definition
saying,
of quantitative
easing. It says the title of the article is, does the U.S. government borrow money entirely from itself? No, it does not.
No, Prince
borrows
in air.
money from the Federal Reserve, which is a private
bank. They're trying to distinguish the U.S. government itself from,
they're trying to say,
it's a private bank.
This article is trying to say that the federal government, however, operates, now listen, this is only like the third sentence in, the U.S. government borrows from itself because the Federal Reserve, a branch of the government, simply prints new money. So that's what I was saying.
Yep.
Wrong. It doesn't mention that it prints new money with interest. It does buy, the Federal Reserve does buy T-bills, government bonds, and that's the whole thing. The government, the Treasury, every year for the budget, sends over the request to the Federal Reserve and says, this is how much
there's one role
for our budget. And so the Federal Reserve says, okay, and they buy federal government bonds in that amount. And then send it. And now if they send a big check that they cash and send and disperse throughout their little, agencies and whatnot and what have you, when they spend that money first. But it comes with interest. It is not, if it was a branch of the federal government, it would come without interest.
And it's above and beyond, too, JJ. What they do is they take all the tax receipts in for all the money that comes in from all the different sources and tax revenue. And then on top of what they need, that's the deficit, the budget deficit. Yeah. Then they go to the Federal Reserve and say, we need X amount of dollars. The Federal Reserve never questions it. They never say, hey, listen, you're borrowing too much. You should only borrow this much. They never say no.
Past due balances.
The only role the federal government has with the Federal Reserve Bank is they appoint the head, the chairman of the Federal Reserve. That is
New York
it.
Branch.
That's the New York branch, and that is it. That's the only role it has. And you know what? And it's the head of the Federal Reserve circumvents and supersedes anything.
Well, because
this Congress, Supreme Court, or the executive branch might say.
Well, it says here, right here, because they've already inferred that the Federal Reserve is part of the government. They say if private individuals did this, it would be called counterfeiting.
Right.
The government gets away with it. No, the government isn't doing it.
Right.
The freaking Federal Reserve is doing it, and they shouldn't be getting away with it. Our government should be doing it.
Jimmy, if we just said that debt, like Iceland said, listen, this debt's not ours. You bankers have ratcheted up these huge amounts of money. You're charging us interest. They ran the bankers. Not only ran the bankers, they jailed some of the bankers in Iceland and said, what you guys did was criminal. You almost mortgaged our future away. So we're not going to own that debt, and we're not going to own that interest. And they got rid of it, just got rid of it, got a new government, and jailed some of the bankers. So think about if we did that in this country, got rid of the $16 trillion in debt, got rid of the interest attached to that, compounded interest, I might add, and then jailed some of the bankers.
Or privatize it, or take it over, and then...
Just imagine what would happen. It would be followed by decades, if not centuries, of prosperity because of all the extra disposable income in the pockets of Americans. People wouldn't have to work as hard. Their money would go a lot further.
Our infrastructure would fix itself.
Yeah, because we
would be able to rebuild our infrastructure with private industry, not governmental supplements.
Right, or you could actually use.
You wouldn't have to wait. Yeah, you wouldn't have to wait a year for the government to come in and do a $4 million job that you could do for free. They did it for free.
Imagine if the government actually bid out a job to the person who was going to do the best job for the cheapest amount of money, and they were using their track record. You know how a company uses your resume to hire you? Oh, look, for the last 10 years, you've done a good job. You've worked here, you've done this, you've done that. Imagine if the government really did that with companies that they give these contracts out to.
No, they don't. I was talking about this on my show. I mean, it's all about who has the slipperiest palms, who took you out at the last conference to a strip joint and got you drunk.
Who's going to give you back a certain percentage in campaign contributions for your next election?
I mean, we did federal contracts where I used to work. That's how it works, man. That's how you get the money.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so who benefits from that? The corporations, the people that work in government. How do the American people benefit? Well, they don't. Well, then why would we have that as part of our government? Yeah, people just need to identify how government should work for them. They don't care. They don't know. They don't understand. They just say it's too big, too complicated for me to understand. I'm going to let these people who have made a career of it do it for me. But wait, these people who made a career, they've lied over and over again. And you caught them lying over and over again. They have a horrible track record. Why would you listen to someone who lies to you over and over again? And then the next big thing they say, we need tax reform. This country's been bad. We need to crack down on whatever. Why would you?
Beaten wife syndrome, Rob.
It is the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you were in a relationship, you wouldn't put up with that crap if someone lied to you constantly. And
there's a lot of
women
money? Or a lot of even men, for that matter, that do that, and it all boils down to dependency. And we see the same thing. We have people dependent on a government, no matter how much a government robs from them, steals their wealth, steals their kids' future, kicks them in the teeth. They're still going to run back to them at least every 4 years or whatever. And
but why though, Curt?
Else.
Because they were taught that that's as good as it gets.
That's the answer.
Our system is better than anybody else's. So, you know, like my buddy. Oh, okay, you don't like it so much, Rob. You keep pointing out the flaws. Go ahead and move down to South America.
You'll
be back here.
Leave it here, boy.
You'll be back in 2 years when your son gets sick and you have to use their hospitals. And I was like, huh? That's your rationalization, huh? That's the old, a really big fat guy walks into a friggin' bar, sits down next to a really huge, morbidly fat, obese guy and goes, I'm doing okay. No, not even. I guess I'm not that fat then. This guy's way bigger than me. Yeah. And you've convinced yourself that you're all right. No, you're still fat and slovenly. You have health issues. You're probably diabetic, and you probably have shortened your lifespan by some 10 to 20 years. So you can keep telling yourself you're okay by comparing yourself. But what we've got in this country is the Jerry Springer effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we look at other people's lives and say, well, I'm not doing that bad. I'm doing a lot better than that guy. So by default, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
No, you're both doing really bad.
Yeah, you both suck.
Yeah, look at
You're
yourself,
both messed up. You're both.
Drive by I can't help it. Every time I glance, I see myself. I've got this giant mirror.
Yeah, with the huge pecs and the six-pack abs?
No.
Oh.
Nobody
nice
in the
haircut?
who's got that.
Oh, that's my mirror. My fault.
I got pecs.
I've got pecs. No, you
I'm
don't.
a fat dude.
You've got specs.
I am a fat guy, though.
And you know, Rob, you know, getting back to that, you know, the whole critical thinking aspect of it has been removed, and that goes back to, you know, your public schooling. We're told not to critically think. This is how it works. This is tradition. You root for Republican or Democrat. Yeah. You do this every 4 years. Or
you don't question
every
authority.
Friday night you're a Mustang. Every Saturday you're a Hoosier. Every Sunday you're a
New England Patriot.
A Patriot. Yeah, you know. And every Monday, you're government property.
Property.
You're the man. You work for the man.
Yeah, you're right, though, Curt. It is critical thinking, man, because I try to explain this stuff to people like, listen, just think about what I'm telling you. Don't accept this stuff as being okay. One of them is, man, don't question authority. That's been drilled into our heads from a young age.
That was my dad, man, all my life.
My dad's
my early
thing.
childhood, my dad, that over and over, it's authority. It's authority.
Don't question me. Don't question me. I know better. I've lived longer than you. I know better. I will make the decisions. You don't question. You just follow. And that's the thing. You're all being
I know
taught
my dad he must have seen, you know, because my mom was so crazy.
Your dad was taught that by his dad. My dad was taught that by his dad.
He wanted me, in order to have an easy life, I suppose, to just always follow the rules. Right. Just comply, follow rules.
Stay in your comfort zone. You'll be more productive.
Yeah, but I wasn't like that.
I wasn't either.
I was like, as soon as you open up the cage door, blah, blah, I'm gone. Like
you tell me not to do something.
1-year-old Labrador.
You had to learn by mistake, like anybody else. I mean, that's how you learn in life. You go out, you make mistakes, and say, that's not healthy. I'm going to try it a different way. You try it a different way, and you realize, you know what? That's just not a healthy behavior. And you change because there's a direct effect on your health. That's called learned behavior, and that's
and you know, Rob, I have a lot of military, and in my family, uncles. My dad was in Nam. And you know, two of them, my dad and my one uncle, will not speak to me now. More or less because of my political views, because they are stuck in that, this is how you have to think. You have to, you know, do good, do what the government says, and that straight and narrow. And I never did. You know, I always veered off. You told me not to do something. The first second I got a chance to do it, it was done.
My uncle was in Nam, and I was talking to him about what was going on in Iraq and the torturing and how it's just, you know, unbelievable that Americans accept the fact that we torture as being okay. And just, I forget what else I was saying. Something about the Iraq war, and my uncle spoke out and was like, he talked about his Vietnam experience and was trying to tell me how if they had to, they would throw out a Vietnamese, you know, a North Vietnamese soldier out of a helicopter at a very high level, high height.
Yeah.
In an attempt to get the other people on the helicopter to speak, to tell them what was going on.
Yeah.
You should have seen the look in his face when he was telling me this. Like, it's okay because we were doing something very important. We had to. We didn't have a choice. And the first thing that came to my mind is he would probably tell you that he's Barbie and he likes to butt chug on the weekends if you just don't throw him out the damn window. Like, you really using that intel as being valid intel?
Really reliable.
Right.
Right. So that was my point. Like, you don't get, oh, man.
I mean, like, you know what? The first guy didn't know you were going to throw him out and wasn't
Right.
telling you what he knew.
Right. And my uncle's a smart man. We're dealing
as soon
with
as I
people
went up
in this
that
country.
helicopter, I'd be like, yo, man, I just told you everything.
Yeah, the guy that told me that if I moved to South America and if I I didn't like it, moved down there in a couple of years, I'd come back and I didn't like the hospital system or something.
Right.
He's a smart guy. He's got 2 degrees. He's been to college for 7-8 years. He holds a great position. He's a smart guy. I know. Most of the people I argue with and debate are smart people. I know this for a fact. And yet they just see it so friggin' differently than how I see it. I don't get it. And I tell them too, guys, I used to see it your way. I used to look at it and approach it how you did. Why don't you look at it from my point of view now?
And you know, Rob, my dad and all the horrors that, he went through, and I mean, he had a lot of issues there for a while as far as, nightmares and the horrors of war and having to bring it home. He's now rooting on going to war with Iran, even after having gone through that, knowing
Can't have a bomb. They use it, and it's always the same. Every person, America, who doesn't know nothing about nothing, they'll tell you the same thing.
Very opinionated.
You can't let them have a bomb.
Right.
They're so opinionated. I was very opinionated back then. I remember arguing with my wife. Honey, you know what? Saddam's a bad man. Maybe we should just go take him out now. Who knows if he has a nuke? Hey, listen, if he attacks Israel like that, I mean, come on. I had all the prefab cookie cutter responses. Where did they come from? Why was I so opinionated?
Yeah, you never looked at it from Saddam's perspective. He's being shock and awed.
But my wife would go, Rob, are you kidding me? You're advocating murder. And you know who's going to get murdered over there? The Iraqi civilians. Why would you say that? And I went, well, sometimes collateral damage happens, honey. And, you got to. I was such an Stepford American dolt. I swear to God, I was such an American robot. And I look back at those years and I say, that's my friends and family right now. They're trapped in that paradigm. And man, it really lights a fire under my ass to be able to wake them up. Maybe I'll never succeed. Maybe I'll die, haven't woken up one of them. Yeah, but if I can just get through to one, and my son and my wife are on board. So,
I do it like this when I try, to explain to somebody that really doesn't understand the whole Iran thing and this preemptive strike and whatnot. I try to explain it to him like this, okay? Go, after the show, of course, and after the Freeland show up next, walk over to your neighbors and, punch him in the face. But it's a preemptive punch in the face because he does own 2 fists and does have the capability of punching you in the face at some point in time. So we must punch him in the face, or her, whatever.
Or risk getting punched in the face
or
yourself.
Risk getting punched at a later date and being caught off guard. So, and that sounds ludicrous, don't it? When you bring it down to the everyday Joe and Jane level and not, take the politics out of it, that sounds absolutely ludicrous. Why is it okay to do that? But we're not talking about simply a punch in the face. Like you guys said, we're talking about innocent women, children, guys in sandals and a floppy hat selling oranges or whatever, I guess they don't have oranges out there, do they?
I would always say, hey, listen, man, can you do me a favor? Can you look up what Operation Ajax is and let me know what that is? It's an operation that dealt with Iran back in 1953. And I'd love to talk about it with you and try to provoke them into looking at an actual declassified operation that shows that the CIA spent $1 million. This is public information. It's not like, you have to read between the redacted lines and try to figure this stuff out. It's all there for you to read. Where is it? James Bramford's book. Oh, God, what's it called? I forget the name of it. He has an excellent book where he documents and lays this out, sort of like how Charlotte Thompson Iserbyt does in The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, just chronologically lays out with all this evidence, documented evidence to show you, what your government or public school or whatever is up to. And Yeah, I mean, Operation Ajax is right in your face. We literally spent $1 million to overthrow a democratically elected official in a country. The same country that we claim now wants
but
to
we don't
wipe.
do that anymore.
I know, but the point is like...
Yeah, we do, though. I'm sorry.
Of course we do, but even if you say, oh, we haven't, blah, 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 that's ancient history, Rob.
No, we're in the game.
Put it into context. 60 years ago? Yeah, 60 years ago now. It's the anniversary right now coming up. In about 6 months, the anniversary of Operation Ajax is coming up. But, man, when you try to put it in layman's terms, try to explain this to me. Why is it okay that our government overthrew a leader in that nation? And then think about the ramifications. What happened with the Shah of Iran, the clerics overthrowing the Shah, the rise of the clerics, the Iran hostage. I mean, all you have to do is do a little bit of history and say, wow, we've really messed up
Rob,
Iran.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think JJ mentioned that you played a clip yesterday or the other day with the guy from the Washington Institute talking about...
Right.
Yeah, I mean, why would you...
We're in the game.
Why would you even need a conversation like that if Iran is so damn guilty?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't need a reason.
If they were so dangerous, dude, we'd act like they are like caged freaking Bengal tigers who've been starved. But we've prodded and thrown water on them, and they still haven't been provoked.
Right, right. This is not 1939
and they're saying, well,
Germany.
If they're not going to be provoked, then we're just going to have to step it up.
But they make it sound like it's the day and age where information took like a month to travel from mouth to mouth or person to person. It's not 1939. Things are instantaneous. I can say hello to a Chinese woman.
Delegate system.
Yeah, I could say hello to a Chinese woman in Beijing right now if I had my webcam on and she did too. I could go, hello, Chinese lady, and she could go, oh, hey, how's it going? And we could sign off. It would be, midnight there and 12 o'clock here. That's incredible. Instantaneous human interaction from halfway across the world. And yet, it's just amazing. Amazing that you would need a false flag and people don't understand the whole. I mean, think about our role with Iraq in the Iraq-Iran war. Took place all throughout the 1980s. Mm-hmm. From like basically 80 to 89. It was the Iraq-Iran war. Think about how many Iranians were killed by the hands of Iraq, which were, almost supported like almost 100% by the United States. We gave them almost everything. Money and military equipment and support and
chemical weapons. Saddam Hussein was our puppet.
They ran out of bullets. The Iranians ran out of friggin' bullets. They called them human waves of people. They would rush the Iraqis in waves of humanity. You guys ever hear the human waves?
Yes.
I mean, Iranians ran out of friggin' bullets, and they were still willing to friggin' fight the Iraqis, who were the aggressors. Iraq attacked Iran. So all you have to do is a little bit of history and go, oh, my God, we're the terrorists. Iran seems to be about as innocent as any nation on the planet. But they're not. They're not at all. I mean, they're pretty inhumane to their people.
Right.
They crack down on protesters. They jail people for the most ridiculous things.
Yeah,
they censor the media.
I thought you were talking about us.
You silly goose. But if you just take off the red, white, and blue glasses, sometimes it's a little bit easier to actually look at the information for what it is. And hey, I don't like the fact that I live in a nation that's considered to be terroristic by many that live on this planet, but it is what it is, right? RobandFreeland.com is the website. If you want to join us in the chat room there, you can go to RobandFreeland.com. News is up for the week. Chat room's there. Lots of good stuff there. Check out RobandFreeland.com. We were talking about just how brainwashed and programmed. See, it's not stupid. And I guess you could say, well, maybe it's a little bit of chemical lobotomy going on with some of our friends and family members that just don't get it. Because I swear, I'm like, you're so capable. Matter of fact, some of my friends and family, they just seem like they're even more capable than I would be to have a more deepened level of comprehension into some of these subjects. Because you guys would admit, some of these subjects are a little complicated here. There's so much, they're extensive. There's so much to kind of look at and to put into proper context in order to understand the issue at hand. But I say, man, I'd love to unleash some of my friends on these problems, like John from Canada. He's a brilliant mind. Thank God he's awake. He would be impossible to wake up if he wasn't, right?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, almost impossible.
Trying to explain to us how Popular Mechanics was right about Building 7.
We would not win. We would not win that argument. He would ace us, and we would be sitting there playing with our toes going, make the big smart guy stop. Make the big smart guy stop.
Didn't he fire all those guys at Popular Mechanics?
Who, John from Canada?
No.
He has some power, that guy.
Popular Mechanics.
Oh, what about him, though?
I think they fired, there were a bunch of writers, and they were actual journalists that were reporting on what really happened.
Yeah,
they fired them all. And they hired these
the editor came from, of all places, the National Enquirer to the Popular Mechanics. So, I mean...
And then they
got rid of the one that's there now, right?
Yeah.
Who's Chertoff's cousin?
Yeah, well, there used to be some really reputable journalists.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, they got rid of them all for writing what really happened or starting to investigate 9/11. Yeah, they got rid of them.
Oh, what a bunch of bagel heads.
Mm-hmm.
You guys heard about
Yeah, good lead-in.
The bagel heads, yeah, in Japan.
Get some cream cheese with my head.
Listen,
I didn't mean it that way.
We've done some crazy stories today, so I think we would. We might as well just continue with the. Yeah, let's continue with the theme here. And Jules was talking about just how everyone's coming unglued in this world. Whether it's just you're angry and you want to fight your government or protest this or whatever the case may be. There's some really strange behavior going on. I mean, butt chugging, really. Planking, owling, sperm extracting, just these crazy things going on.
Silicone bagels in your forehead?
Yeah, in Japan, there's a trend going on now. I guess it was some sort of collagen injection. Mm-hmm. And what they noticed was that it was causing a bagel-like shape. I mean, it is. It looks like someone has a bagel underneath their forehead skin. Now, I'll put the article up in the chat room because you're not going to see – it's not often you see a Japanese dude with a bagel under his forehead skin.
No, it's not an actual bagel. Maybe we ought to make that clear.
It's probably not a bagel. No, it looks like the collagen.
Like one.
It looks just like a bagel. I mean, you want to cream cheese that thing up and toast it. It looks so much like a bagel.
Yes. Making me hungry, actually, looking at these people's foreheads.
I know. I'm always thinking I should eat before the show, but then some of the stories I cover, I think, oh, man, I'm glad I didn't eat before I covered this one. So anyway, yeah, here's the article. I'll put it up there.
They look like they're half part Klingon.
Yeah. And it only lasts, 16, 18 hours or something?
Yeah, it's a 2-hour procedure.
And that's the crazy thing. This thing takes about 2 hours to complete the procedure, and it only lasts for 24 hours. And really, what's going on is the fact that it's a trend. They like the fact that it looks like they call it bagel heading. And that's the trend, is to look like you have a bagel on your forehead. I don't know why that would be trendy or fashionably acceptable. I was thinking scone myself.
2 balls in a wanger. Why don't they do that?
2 balls and a wanger. What the hell are you talking about?
Forehead.
Wasn't that an 80s band?
I think I have. That's Wang Chung, dude. That's Wang Chung.
Maybe I was thinking of Winger.
Yeah, maybe.
Winger and Wang Chung, if they got together.
It'd be Wang or Chung. I don't know.
Wang or Chung.
Chugger.
Yeah. So now we got a bunch of bagel head butt chuggers.
Yeah.
Crypto bagel head.
All of them trying to sneak into China so they can use their sperm extracting machine. China and Japan, man, they're going at it. Let's play this. I think it's an LA5 clip here.
There's look going on in Japan. Some young people there having injections of saline put into their foreheads.
Oh, it's saline.
A look they call bagel heads. Not interested in this. How you do it is you have a needle put in your forehead, then pressing in the center of the swollen area with your thumb. It's
nice.
A 2-hour treatment. People describe a stinging sensation as the saline slowly begins filling the forehead. The effect lasts 16 to 24 hours. The saline is then absorbed by the body, and after that, the forehead reduces back to its normal size. Why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Please explain.
You have to be hip to understand.
Okay.
You have to be retarded.
You have to be absolutely brain dead to even. I don't.
Why would you put saline in your body to begin with, though?
And wouldn't it stretch the skin out eventually? So
right.
You got a saggy, like a mushy bagel hanging off your forehead.
Stretch marks on your forehead.
Oh, God.
She's 40 years old with saggy boobs and saggy forehead.
Yeah.
No doubt these guys are walking around with beer bongs hanging out of their tuchus.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's next though in Japan, and we there's a vacuum we need to fill it. Is the forehead bra for these sagging foreheads?
Oh, what they need are forehead Geiger counters because they're in big trouble.
Yeah, Japan. I don't like to make.
You see what happens with the radiation?
Well, that's what Christina was questioning, Rad Chick. Like, is this a fad or is this like
radiation poisoning?
Radiation-induced psychosis?
Right.
To do this. I mean, who in their right mind would want to look like a Klingon for real?
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Well, I'm kind of busy. I'm going down to the clinic and I'm going to get some saline solution first, inject it into my forehead. And then once the big bubble of saline is on my forehead, I'm going to press my thumb in the middle and make a bagel-like shape. And then I'm going to ride it out for 24 hours, probably go to some clubs, some high-profile areas, so everyone can see my bagel head. What are you doing?
And do you know, too, that in Japan there's a whole, like, 50s resurgence? So there's quite a few bands that have come out of there, and they do, like, some really strange fashion stuff. But the most recent one is dressing like 50s greasers.
I love
it. From Greece, you know, with the leather jackets and the bikes and the gangs and the
Sha-na-na.
I would do it.
Sha-na-na.
Bowser.
Yeah, big time.
Bet your Bowser. Yeah, you bet your
so
Bowser.
Now they're going to have bagel foreheads to go with the leather jackets.
They should. They should. They can name the band the Bagel Heads.
That sounds like a 50s band, don't it?
The Bagel Heads.
But you need like, I don't know, like what with their Japanese like Ching Chang and the Bagel Heads, ladies and gentlemen.
Ching Chang and the Bagel Heads. Hello, I'm Poppy Bagel. Everyone could be different names of bagels. There's each band member. Hello, I'm Everything Bagel.
Poodle dresses have bagels on them.
All right, let's go from Japan back to China. I'm not going back to the sperm extractor story. Nope, we've moved past that one. This one is interesting. Now, it comes from the Daily Mail, so I definitely take this one with a grain of salt because the Daily Mail is kind of like well, you guys know, it's sort of like a National Enquirer, sort of, not quite. I mean, there are some actually decent stories here, but what I'll do is I'll put this story up here in the chat room. This is a real hoozy dinger.
Whoosy dinger.
Yeah, it's a whoozy dinger. If you guys thought the Israelis were bad with running people over that were refusing to leave the new settlements, this one's right from the playbook of the Israelis. Chinese protesters opposing a government takeover of a village land is crushed to death by state-controlled road flattening trucks.
My God.
Oh my God, dude. It says protester He Zhuhua appears to be crushed in this shocking image. He opposed his land being moved after the government tried to claim the land for commercial use. And reports claim that the government then tried to hide the body and sent security in to quell the anger from the residents. And they show a picture here with like feet hanging out from underneath the truck. And then if you look at another angle, they literally show him splattered on the road, man.
Oh, my God, they do.
But it's blocked out. You can't see it. You can pretty much guess what you're looking at there.
But like in this country, what I've seen them do, at least they don't run people over yet. I mean, they try to.
If you guys go down to the bottom one, he's completely flat. You can see it. He's laying there flat in the bottom picture. Oh, wow. Holy moly. It's not every day that you see a flat Chinese man on the pavement.
Wow.
Whoa. There's some really strange things going on in Asia. Bagel heads and pancake Chinese dudes. Pancakes and bagels, anyone? Wow. Shouldn't be joking about this. It's not
awkward.
Funny. Yeah.
I'm not laughing.
No, I'm not meaning to make a joke of it, but it's...
Here's where the audience goes, oh.
Hey, fine. Fine, yeah, I know. It's common that we see this, but no, I know. I should make fun of a guy that's protesting his government stealing his land and then running him over with a road flattening truck.
Yeah, we could probably
throw a picture in there.
On a lighter note, Joe.
Lighter note,
Chachi is homeless.
Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. We take a walk.
Final segment. Yeah, we found ourselves in the final segment here today on this raucous roundtable edition of the broadcast. If you guys missed any of the episode, you can go back and check it out about 10 or 15 minutes after the completion of the show, and you should see the full episode there at oraclebroadcasting.com in the archives for Rob and Freeland. RobandFreeland.com. You can sign up for the podcast there. You can also find out more information about us on Twitter, which is at Rob and Freeland, or at Facebook, which is Rob and Freeland as well on Facebook. Why do I hear a crazy commercial? Is that me? I hate that, man. When you open up an article and all of a sudden some commercial starts playing. Oh, that's the worst. Is that me?
It's not me.
It is.
Extreme Interaction Arnie Argentinosaurus from Tommy.
Argentinosaurus? What? Is that the new dinosaur from Argentina?
Must be.
Oh, all right, you guys need to find a quick article so I can find it. Okay.
Do we now?
It's gone. It's gone. All right, cool.
Let's see. Let's do this. We've only got a few minutes, Rob.
Yes.
Minutes away from the initial jobless claim. A survey of economists by Bloomberg revealed the consensus expectations of 375,000 new claims for the week ending in September 22nd, down from last week, obviously.
Yeah, because they cut everyone's benefits.
Slightly lower than they expected.
They did over the last month. Everybody's
That's it, slightly lower than they expected. But expected to rise slightly next week.
It's so ridiculous, man. The whole thing is just, it's ludicrous. Ludicrous. The whole thing is jobless claims. How many people are claiming that they don't have a job? That number is drawn off of the labor force pool. So, I mean, come on. That just means that less people just ran out of benefits. That's all it is. People just exhausted their benefits.
They stopped extending them. So
it doesn't mean they got a job. That's not a direct link to them saying, oh, well, therefore, if it's not a jobless claim, they got a job. No, what it really most likely means is that they've fallen out of the labor force. That's so pathetic. And that's a way that they actually can use as a metric to figure out who's working and who's not working. Because you know the easiest way to do it, and why, I don't know why anyone in the mainstream media hasn't brought this up, why don't we have an employment number? Why the hell do we have an unemployment number? Why not how many people are working? Who gives a crap about the people not working? Who's working? We'll figure out the rest from there.
Working.
Huh?
How many people? I want to know. I'm asking the question with you, brother.
Right. Yeah,
solidarity, man, Rob Chowdah. How many people really are working in America?
Right. Because we read that article about CNN. They call the invisible unemployed. And they went through and explained, you know, how the BOLS. I mean, I did like a whole segment about the BOLS and how, from a friend of mine, a really smart friend who works in Chicago government. Oh, Rob, blah, 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 blah. Look at the numbers about the unemployment. I'm like, idiot. He's a huge Obama supporter. So therefore, you know, if you say anything negative about the current state of the economy or the job market, you're taking a pot shot at Obama. You're taking a pot shot at Obama. You're probably a radical right-wing racist. And it's just like, oh, idiot. Look at how they derive the number. Things aren't getting better. They're getting worse. But in his mind, he's using the unemployment number to be able to say, oh, yeah, it's getting better. See? Oh, my God, you're using the government. It's like my friend who, my wife's friend's husband who used a government study to prove that vaccines are safe. My claim is that the government's not being forthright with how safe these things are. We can go right to the EPA or the FDA to point to their studies, and he gives me a study to prove that he's right. I'm like, oh, jeez, my God, we're in a lot of trouble. Now, you said that you had a clip from Dennis Kucinich.
Yep, I dropped it.
Okay, you did drop that there.
Pick it up.
I got to dust it off, though, first. It's a little dusty. Let me, hold on one quick sec. All right, just making sure. The commercials were still going up until about 10 seconds ago. You know what? They are still going. All right, I can't do it. I have to find the infraction.
The infraction.
Oh no.
I can't figure out where it's coming from.
Well, here, JJ, why don't you grab the video?
I can't. I have to update my Flash player. It means I have to close down all my web browsers to do that.
All right, I'll get it.
I'm not on the Skype call.
Kurt's plugged into my mixer. Kurt. He can. He's plugged into my mixer.
Yeah, I just dropped it to him personally.
It doesn't.
I can't do it. I'm not on the call.
All right, I've got it. All I have to do is copy this, get rid of the entire browser, right? That way, if I close the entire browser, hopefully it goes away. Hopefully it goes away. All right, now I've opened up this.
Thank you.
Let's listen to Mr. Kucinich.
In 1992, the Food and Drug Administration decided that genetically modified organisms were the functional equivalent of conventional foods. They arrived at this decision without testing GMOs for allergenicity, toxicity, antibiotic resistance, and functional characteristics. As a result, hundreds of millions of acres of GMO crops were planted in America without the knowledge or consent of the American people. No safety testing, no long-term health studies. The FDA has received over 1 million comments from citizens demanding labeling of GMOs. 90% of Americans agree. So why no labeling? I'll give you one reason. The influence and the corruption of the political process by Monsanto. Monsanto's been a prime mover in GMO technology, a multi-million-dollar GMO lobby here, and a major political contributor. There is a chance that Monsanto's grip will be broken in California, where a GMO labeling initiative is on the ballot. And here in Congress, my legislation, H.R. 3553, will provide for a national labeling bill. Americans have a right to know if their food is genetically engineered. It's time for labeling. It's time for people to know how their food is being produced.
Wow. What was that last thing you said? Butt chugging?
How your food is being butt chugged.
Yeah, no, we should definitely make sure if there's anything that we do as a nation, that bill needs to pass. I mean, you guys saw those recent studies out of France with the freaking
Russia.
Rats loaded with cancer from the corn.
And Russia.
Russia said, yeah, we're going to boycott that crap.
Yeah, H.R. 3553. That is the bill that was Dennis Kucinich. We got to make sure that passes, people.
No, it's the California bill that's the important one.
Well, California first,
H.R. 37.
Yes, that's the Prop 37, yeah.
But that's the important one. That's the one that...
H.R. 3553 is nationwide, though, and that would come on the tail of that, so...
Yeah, but did it go anywhere? That's the thing. It got shot down. That's an older clip. Kucinich,
it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an older clip.
I thought that was standing behind Prop 37.
Yeah, but let me see, though. I think the bill just recently got shut down September 19th. Maybe not. It's about a week old. I thought recently, just a few days ago, I read something about the fact that this bill is not getting any support at all.
Oh,
because what does he have? Is it a House resolution? Kucinich's bill?
Yeah.
Okay, it's still at the House level.
3553. Yeah.
See, yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's no support for it whatsoever, which is ridiculous.
Maybe we should make support for it. Let's get everyone
on the national level. On the national level, I don't know how you would do it on the national level. I mean, you could call York State Senator.
With some of these. Let's partner with some of these groups on Facebook that all support GMOs. Let's get a campaign going. We got to get that stopped. I mean, there's nothing we can eat anymore, guys. Every other country in the world just about has banned GMO, and you got companies like BASF that used to make coatings for cassette tapes in the 80s that jumped on the GMO bandwagon, got kicked out of Germany, and now they're moving their headquarters to Research Triangle Park.
Well, look at BPAs. BPAs are still in plastics. There's plenty of other things you could use for can liners or bottle liners. They still use BPA. Why do they
stop this stuff? There's nothing we can.
What about aspartame? Why do they still have that? What about Posilac? Why are they shooting up our cows to make more milk? That's not natural.
We have a guy that's standing up in front of the house.
I agree with you 100%.
Let's pass a bill and hop on California's coattails.
Well, we know how it works. It's all about you. Did you see the actual infographic?
About one thing, and let's focus all of our efforts on that and make it happen, and then go on to the next.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh, no, what I'm making a suggestion.
It's a great one.
I'm not a great opportunity. I mean, it's happening right now, and it's got tons of support. So,
it's an awesome. It's probably one of the most important things we've talked about the entire day here. But my point is that on that infographic, if you look at how much money is being put towards the cause on either side, and you have
the government is former Monsanto employees anyway.
I'm just saying the organic company.